So, the hateful Kwaiken. I bought this knife without ever having touched it, and that sort of violates one of my tenets of knife buying. You've really got to hold a knife in your hand before you know whether or not you really love it. But I watched the videos. I watched Nut and Fancy. He went and said, "Hey, this is a perfect knife. Not a perfect knife, but he sort of was borderline. Like this is a pretty good knife." And I was like, I like the way it looks. I like the way it just sings to me. It's not that bad. But then I got it, and what it doesn't have is a reliable open. To me, with any other knife that I own, I know that I can open it quickly and have it be reliable. I know what I have to do to open it up, and as soon as I do that, it's open. But with this, it's like I've got to think about it. It's just I've got to set my thumb, I've got to set my forefinger, I've got to make sure all my fingers are clear, and then I got to push it open, make sure the knife doesn't jump away from me, and then click it shut or click it open, and hope that I didn't cut myself or that I didn't skin my fingers up doing it. It just doesn't open that well. I've had the knife for a couple days, and I've been, trying to loosen it up. It has loosened up somewhat, but it doesn't feel after a few days. It still just doesn't feel like 100%. Like this, like I can trust this. Like if I had to get this out of my pocket and open right now, I wouldn't trust it. I'd be going slow, methodical, trying to make sure that I, did it right. And to me, there shouldn't be that much thought in a knife. But hey, so past that though, once the knife's open, I love it. It's great. It feels great in the hand. It's got a nice long blade. So sitting here at about 3.5 inches. Yeah, it's a good sized knife. It's in comparison to the Benchmade Osborne. Get that lined up on the knife there, on the line. It's a little bit bigger, a little longer, and it weighs about twice as much as the Osborne too. It is a heavy knife. It's got Os 8 liners. So you've got a liner lock. There's not a whole lot of skeletonization going on in here. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get a little slow rotate. It's pretty much steel the whole way through. The balance point on the knife is about there. So there's a lot of knife out in front of this thing, and there's a whole lot of handle back here. The pocket clip is pretty shallow. You got to make sure that when you're putting it in your pocket that you sort of stretch your pocket out a little bit before you push it down. It's got a little trouble going over, a thick jeans pocket. The handles are G10. They're on my Kwaiken. They're bright orange. I thought they were going to be a little more red, based on the picture that I ordered it off of Amazon. But they're not super orange. They're not super duper bright orange. They are, a crayon orange. Not completely ugly. The finish on this is a stone wash. And, I'm happy with the way the knife looks. I'm happy with the way the knife functions. It'll cut. Yeah, I can shave with it. It is sharp. Straight out of the box sharp. But it still comes back down to that. I've really got to work to get it open. And I'm not happy with that. So, but hey, some other things. It's got a bearing system. So when it is traveling between open and closed, it is very smooth. When it locks up, it locks up. The liner lock is very sturdy. That's all I've got to say about it. Once it's open, it's a great knife, but getting it open is the chore. I just don't trust myself opening it, that I'm not going to cut myself, or that because you got to put so much force on it to open it up. It wants to jump away from you when it does release from that. There's a little ball detent in there. As soon as it opens up, it wants to jump away from you, and then you're sort of stuck, with it out there like this, and you're trying to push up. Actually, your thumb is exposed to the blade, and I just don't like that. Other than that, awesome knife. I really like it, but it is a little stiff, and I'm gonna have to side with my gut on it, and I'm gonna keep trying to loosen it up and open it up, and maybe one day it'll be smooth enough that I can trust it. But right now, it's just a pretty knife, and I don't know that I'm gonna want to carry it until I know I can open it. I want something I can open quick. That's just me, and that's all I've got to say.